Hey, welcome to another episode of Netflix and Chill Quickies with me, Mr. Solo Dolo. Today we're going to talk about the new movie on Netflix, Game Over Man.
Let's do it!
Game Over is a movie made by the same guys that brought you the hit show Workaholics. Blake Anderson, Adam Devine, Anders Holm, and of course, the director Kyle Newacek. So this movie is pretty much what you would expect from a movie made by these guys. It's essentially the exact same characters you see on Workaholics. You got Adam Devine, he's like the insane man baby who's just living in a world of fantasy. You've got Anders, who's kind of the straight man, he's kind of the funny man sometimes, he's kind of like right in between. And then you've got Blake, who of course is essentially the straight man, if you can even have a straight man inside this comedy threesome. The only thing that's really different about this movie to the TV show is that Blake doesn't have a mustache, which is kind of weird, to be honest with you. The movie runs at 1:40, which is a little long for a comedy of this sort, but it moves along at a pretty good pace and makes that runtime seem unnoticeable. The jokes in the movie are kind of what you would expect. I know that I was certainly rolling my eyes when I saw the trailer for this, and I really expected it to be total garbage. Thankfully, the movie isn't really well represented by its trailer in that a lot of the jokes are much funnier than the ones that they show in the trailer. In fact, this cringeworthy moment from the trailer.
How do I forget that I have given her an extra key?
Is not actually even in the film, thank God. They do have a little bit with Shaggy and the song, but it's not quite as central to the plot as the trailer makes it out to be. This movie is basically a funny Die Hard. To see the movie done in this sort of comedic light is kind of a treat for Die Hard fans or fans of action films of this caliber. All the action in this film is done way over the top for comedic effect. There's lots of violence, lots of gore. There's also a lot of really well choreographed stunt work. The film, of course, has its gross out moments, as you would expect from a film of this type. There's a 5-minute scene where Adam Devine's penis is hanging out, and it's really in your face for 5 minutes. So there's that. Because this movie is an homage to the films that I assume these guys grew up with and love, it's packed with references and cameos from all sorts of people. Donald Faison, Fred Armisen, there's Steve-O, Shaggy. Of course, the title in itself is a reference to the late, great Bill Paxton.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
I will admit that the Workaholics formula does get a little tiring with time, and this film is kind of like watching 6 or 7 Workaholics episodes back to back. So if you don't feel up for that, then it's maybe best to watch this movie in short bursts. There are a number of times that I had some pretty legitimate laughs throughout this film. They do have a very accurate portrayal of the effects of salvia on a person, which I can definitely attest to. The film ultimately is a parody of the stereotypical action film, but it's loaded with slapstick comedy, and it really celebrates the stupidity of these characters. If it's a late night and you don't have anything else to watch, I would recommend checking out this film. If you're with a group of friends and you want to have some laughs, then watch this film. If you're stoned, this is a good movie to check out. If you're a fan of Workaholics, you'll love this film. Overall, I wasn't really expecting a lot from this film, so I was pleasantly surprised. I laughed, and I was engaged, so I think these guys did their job. If I had to rate this film, which I don't, I would give it a solid 7 out of 10.